Hello everyone, we will continue the topic SAP ABAP new syntax, and we are covering new features of Open SQL. And as a part of that, we covered whenever we are now writing the Open SQL query, the separator between the columns is comma, all host variables must be prefixed with @. We can use the conditional statement case also in the select list. Now we will move on to the next feature. We can now use the literals also in the select list. Now, what is the next feature? We can use the literals also in the select list. Now, what do you mean by literals? Anyways, it is fully explained in the ABAP programming part 1 playlist. You can refer the videos of data types and data object. You will get the full understanding. And anyways, whatever the knowledge is required at this point of time, we will cover that also. Literals are also called as unnamed data objects. Why they are called as unnamed data object? Because they do not have any name. We will not give any name. We will directly give the value. They are fully identified by their value itself. We will not give any name. We will directly give the value. We have two types of literals, numeric literals and character literals. What are numeric literals? Numeric literals are sequence of numbers. Suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they are the values. So we are not giving any name. So what is numeric literal? They are the sequence of numbers. Now, what is character literal? Character literals are sequence of alphanumeric characters. We all know character means it is alphanumeric, A to Z also, 0 to 9 also. So character literals are sequence of alphanumeric characters in a single quotation marks. Suppose simple example, test 1, 2, 3 in single quotation, SAP ABAP in single quotation. So these are your literals. They are directly identified by their value itself. Now, in the new features of OpenSQL, we can use the literals in the selection list itself, in the select list itself. Now, maximum time in the interview, whenever we ask, have you used the literals in the select list? If they are saying yes, we will ask what is the most effective use of the literals. Now, literals are most effectively used to check the entry exists in the table or not. Entry exists in the table or not. Now, whenever I will start with the practical part, the literals are effectively used to check the entry exists in the table or not. In any interview, if interviewer is asking, yes, have you used the literals in the select list based upon the new syntax? So you can simply say, if you are saying yes, so they will simply ask what is the most effective use of the literals. So we can check entry exists in the table or not with the help of literals. Now I will go for same to same practice. Firstly, I will show you through old way. Then I will go through the new way. And from the starting itself, I am saying old things are not obsolete. They are as it is. SAP just added the new syntax. Now, what I will do, I will take a requirement first. Now, what is the requirement? Suppose there is a program which is displaying the details of sales order, but everyone cannot run that program. If the user entry is in this table, only they will be able to run the program. Others will get the error. I will simply go for the requirement again. Now we have a program. Suppose the program is to display the sales order. Everyone cannot be, or everyone will not be able to see the output of the program. Only the user whose entry is into this table, they will be only able to see the output of the program. So what you can do, anyways, I already created the table. You can create a table, and in that table, you can take a column name, suppose username. You all know very well how to create a table. So many times it is explained. You can create a table maintenance generator, because we will maintain that data into this table. And it is a customizing table. The delivery class is C. Now, after that, you can go to SN30 transaction code, and you can maintain the users into that table. Anyways, as of now, I have not maintained. Now, whatever the users are into this table, only they will be able to see the output of the program. Others will not be able to see. So firstly, I will show you how we are writing the logic before ABAP 7.4. Now in ABAP 7.4 or onwards, we have literals. Now we will use literals to effectively write the query. So what I will do, I will create a program. I will go to SC38 transaction code. I will give some name to the program. Suppose I am saying ZPRG5 new open SQL underscore literals. Once the practical will be there, you will get the full use of literals. I will give the title, suppose demo on literals. I will choose the type as executable program, and I will go for save. I will save this as a local object. I will activate this particular program. Now, suppose I will take same to same input into this particular program. I will copy paste the input. This is our input. I will simply provide the selection text. Go to text elements, selection text. I will go for DDIC reference. Now, whenever user will give the input and user will click on to the execute button, or user will perform some action, if user is not authorized, the user should get a message. Only the authorized users will be able to see the output of this particular program. You all know, whenever you want to validate the input, you are making use of which particular event? Add selection screen. If you do not have knowledge of classical report event, no problem. You can simply refer the playlist of ABAP programming part 2, and you can see the use of add selection screen event. Now I am writing add selection screen. Now, how we will validate? How we will validate the user is authorized or not? You all know we need to write the query. So I will go for firstly old way. Firstly, I will declare a structure type. Begin of. Suppose LTY underscore user. I will take the username column. You can simply create a table MANDT and uname column. Uname, type, data element of username. I will end this particular structure. I will go for internal table and work area. LT underscore data, type table of LTY underscore data. I will go for work area, LWA underscore data, type LTY underscore data. Now we want to validate the user, that user is authorized or not. So we will write the query. So how we will write the query? Select uname from which table? This is the table. I will put into internal table. Into table, what is internal table? LT underscore. Suppose I will give LT underscore users. Suppose so that it will make sense. This is LWA underscore users. I will give user. This is your user. Now into table LT underscore user. Where uname, you all know what is the system variable for username? Sai uname. Suppose if my ID is R Mehta, so it will check uname R Mehta is in this table or not. If Sai Sabarsi not equal to 0, if user is not maintained in that table, we will simply give the error message. Now I will go for a class, message class. If you do not have a class, you can simply create. You all know very well how to create a message class. I will go for already developed message class. Suppose I will give a message. User is not authorized to run the program. I will go for save. Message number 007. How you will give the message? Message. Suppose I will go for error message. What is the message number? 007. And what is the message class? This is the message class. So this is the first way, or this is the first way of writing the query by which we can validate, yes, user is authorized or not. This is one way that you can simply bring the data. You are bringing the data to the internal table. If size bars is other than 0, you are giving the error message. What is another way? We can write the query by other way also. Suppose we will simply write select single. You all know, yes, whenever you are passing the username, single record is coming from this table because username is the primary key of that table. So we'll simply write select single username. If you are going for single record, you can directly put into work area also. Suppose now I write select single username int from Z users into work area. What is work area? LWA underscore user, where your username is equal to Sai uname. If input is not correct, we can give the error message. This is the second way to write the same to get the same result or to validate the input. We have another way also. Suppose you are not going for work area, you are not going for internal table, you are declaring a variable. Suppose I am writing LB underscore uname type uname. So rather than work area, you can use variable also. So now I will simply, rather than work area, I will use the use variable. Select single uname into LV underscore user. So you can go by either of these ways. As of now, we know these ways to validate the input. If we can bring data to internal table, we all know, yes, we are passing the username, single record is coming. So we can directly take into work area also, or we can take into variable also, depends upon. So we are going for, or we are achieving this by three different ways of queries. Now just see here. In all these three queries, are you bringing data to application layer? Yes, you are bringing data to application layer. You are bringing data into internal table, or you are bringing data to work area, or you are bringing data to the variable. Suppose I am going for the right input. I am going for right input. Whenever I will go for right input, data will come into this internal table. I will go for right input, data will come into this work area. I will go for right input, data will come into this particular variable. Now just see, we are bringing data to internal table, work area, and to into this particular variable. Are we using this? We are not at all using this. We just want to check user is authorized or not. Yes. So in that case, rather than bringing that data into internal table, work area, or this variable, there must be some provision which will only give us it is true or false. So that is the most effective way to write a query, and that we will achieve through literals. Most important understanding. As of now, what you are doing, whenever you are validating, you are writing the query, you are bringing data into variable, internal table, work area. See, you are using, that's a different thing. Now we are bringing data to internal table, work area, or variable, but we are not using. We just want to check that user is authorized or not. It means we just want to go for true or false result. But as of now, we know that we are bringing data to internal table, work area, or variable, and based upon that, we are going for the result. Now, whenever we will use literals, we will not bring the data to any internal table, work area, variable, nothing. We just go for true and false result. If the user is authorized, we will get a true result. If the user is not authorized, we will get a false result. And that it should be. And that is the new feature of OpenSQL. That is no need to bring data, nothing. You can check for Boolean result. It is true or false. So what is the summary of this particular video? In this video, I started with, yes, we can use literals in the select list. Now, firstly, you should understand what are literals. Literals are just values. They identified by their values. Numeric literal means we have numeric values. We have sequence of numbers. Character literals means we have sequence of characters. And yes, they do not have any name. They are just values. Then we discussed, if someone asks you, you know that you can use literals in the select list. Then what is the most effective use of this? The answer is yes, we can check effectively data exists in the table or not without bringing the data. This is the most effective word now I will use here. We can check entry exists in the table or not without bringing the data to application layer. Without bringing the data to application layer. Now, as a part of that, we took the requirement. What you can do, you can simply create a table in which take only one column, username. You can create table maintenance generator and you can maintain some users into that particular table. Now, after that, I showed you that if we don't know the new features of OpenSQL, how you are validating the user. You will simply fetch the username from this table and you will write the internal table, work area or variable. Now just think, if we are not at all using this internal table, work area, variable anywhere, because we want to display the sales order data, some different output itself. We just want to check that the user is authorized or not. We just want to check, or we just want to return true or false result. Then why we should bring the data into internal table, work area or variable? Suppose if we are going for right user, data will come into in this internal table, data will come into this work area, data will come into this particular variable, and that is of no use at all. We just want to check the result is true or false, that we will achieve through literals. In the next video, firstly, I will show you this part in the debugging mode. Then we will understand how effectively we can use the literals here, which will give us the true and false result. So that's it in this video. Thank you.